Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Alright, welcome back to the channel, and we are here on the final video for this phase anyway for the modifications to the GTI Clubsport. You got a bit of a preview last time as to what the final things were that we were going to be doing. It's right here in front of us. Gaz, what are we looking at?
Alright, so what we've got here, we've got a beautiful PWR intercooler. This is going to replace the factory unit. A lot more efficient, we'll get the intake temps down, and this is going to work really well with the APR software that we're going to use. Andrew's already got a 3-inch turbo vac exhaust system on this car. We're going to fit the intercooler, and basically we're going to be applying the APR Stage 2 software, which is going to be a significant increase in horsepower.
Can't wait.
I think Andrew's already dynoed the car in standard mode.
200, it was dead on 200 at the wheels, because we know that's what the internet is all about. All about what's on a dyno sheet. But look, I'm really interested in maybe talking a bit more about the PWR cooler as well, because originally I was going to go a different route before PWR released this. So for those that don't know, PWR are an Australian company. I think you said they make serious stuff for motorsports.
That's it, it's a beautiful piece of kit. It's finished really nicely, the welds look good. The core is fantastic. They do offer different ranges of cores. They have an F1 core, which is actually a core they use for all the F1 car core systems. It's quite pricey, but
so we haven't gone for that one here. This is the regular one, not the F1 spec, which I think is going to be fine for this application.
That's it. The beauty of this, it's all designed and manufactured here in Australia, up on the Gold Coast there. Beautiful bit of kit, fits really well, looks the business, and locally made. Support local.
That's what you want. Awesome. Let's get to it. Cool.
Right, I'm just going to do a weight check on these intercoolers, just a comparison between, this is the stock factory one. As you can see, pretty lightweight plastic tanks, not a huge core, they work pretty well for, for factory power, that sort of thing. But we're just going to do a weight comparison. Excuse the old scales, they're pretty old school, but they work well, and they're
like the oldest scales I've ever seen.
Unit of measurement here, so we've got, this is 10 pounds. Which is around 4.5 kilograms for the stock item. Now we'll grab this PWR one. Obviously, it's significantly heavier than a standard one, but as far as intercoolers go, we think this is one of the lightest ones on the market. We're looking at so this is 20 pounds, which is approximately 9 kilograms.
9 kilos, I think.
9 kilograms. All the other ones, the Wagners, integrated, all that sort of stuff, they're all up there, 30 pounds plus.
The Wagner was 33 pounds.
33 pounds for the Wagner.
20 pounds for this, so 13 pounds different.
Yeah,
That's
I think
pretty significant.
Where the extra weight comes from is that the Wagners, your Airtex, the integrateds, they're all cast end tanks. Which is nice, but it does add a lot of weight. Whereas obviously the PWR, it's all kind of like pressed aluminium kind of material, which obviously that's where they can take a bit of weight out of it. Next phase of the operation, we're going to get this PWR intercooler installed. So to get that in there, we're going to remove the front end of the car. So basically bumper off, headlights out, radiator support panel out. I'm going to leave the radiator and the AC condenser in there. The intercooler is sandwiched between the two of them. I'm going to work around them. Basically, we don't want to lose any coolant out the coolant system, and we're going to try, we're going to keep all the gas in the AC system. It's a bit fiddly doing it this way, but it is quicker and it'll save us a bit of messing around later on. So let's get into it. This will help us with realigning the headlights after, because everything's coming out. The headlights will go back in the right spot.
These bumpers don't have parking sensors.
Oh, there you go. I was looking for the...
Is there the provision for it underneath? Because I know... Let's have a look.
A lot of the time they have the templates there to drill out. Oh, see, that's
where they plastic welded it.
This one actually doesn't look like it has.
It doesn't look like it does. Yeah.
Usually it'll have like little X's that mark the spot.
Exactly, for where to drill it.
There's nowhere actually, yeah, because around this area there's actually nowhere for them to go.
Yeah, it's not even an option on this car to have them.
So I guess it's when you buy the Clubsport edition, the 40 years edition, you get all these beautiful ducts and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And as good as they look, I mean, like the air dams, like that style air dam there, is, you know, it's super functional. It's not just there for show, it actually serves a purpose. Oh, not bad at all. We got a little bit in there, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's a lot of people freak out when they see a bit of oil in their intercooler piping. It's not a big deal. Every turbocharged car generally has a little bit of oil. So basically, we've got the AC condenser, we've got the radiator, and they're all mounted to the intercooler. And the intercooler is the main securing part to the body of the car. Basically, it's held in with these plastic clips here. Now, from experience, you can spend about 2 hours messing around trying to get these clips undone correctly, or you can just break the ends off, and Volkswagen have very kindly left us a hole and a hole inside the bracket to screw it all back up securely after.
tuck wing.
Good, all good, mate. Yeah, it's
No bangs and clanks.
no clunks and bangs, no weird noises. All feels pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, ready for some software.
Alright. So what's this 80 to 120 test?
Yep, an 80 to 120 test and a 50 to 100 test. Basically just to sort of see how the car comes on to boost for 50 to 100 in third gear and how much power it makes in the top end of the rev range from 80 to 120. Effectively like a good data logging just to make sure that the car's healthy both before and after, and obviously to know how much faster it is in real world, especially for overtaking, because that's the best thing. 80 to 120, 80 to 110 of course in Australia.
110 in Australia, yeah. Well, actually in ACT, isn't it?
80 to 100. Well, we're just going to be across the border, the Mexican border just up ahead, so we'll be able to go to 120. We're going to do the regular turn.
So we've got our V-Box set up here.
Just quickly put that on the right page.
So this is before the tune, so we're going to do an after.
Normally, yeah, this is the before. Normally we also do a 0 to 100, but when it comes to grip limited cars, there's no real like correlation in the data. Like sometimes you get a good run 0 to 100 without the tune, sometimes you get a good run with the tune.
It's more in the launch.
It's more in the launch, yeah. Especially a car with these, which have anything with 200 kilowatts, the 0 and 100 data is not as what's the word? Cohesive, I guess the right word is, yeah. The other thing to note, if we had a Golf R or a RS3, anything with Haldex, then the 0 to 100 is very much a good measurement of how much quicker it is before and after. Obviously, a lot of people use 100 to 200 or 60 to 130 mile per hour, but that's very much so not a good thing to do on the road.
We haven't even done a wheel alignment yet, so that wouldn't be a good idea.
Here, we slow back down to about 30 or 40 k's an hour in third gear, get it onto boost without kicking down, come in at fuel, into alignment.
You feel it?
Yeah. So 4.2, 50 to 100, it's not bad. The one thing about these is they don't get overboost until you kick down.
Yeah.
And because we're not kicking down, we're technically not on overboost.
We're not going to get the full.
So it would be a touch quicker.
Full fruit.
We will try and get that on our second run just now, just to test that.
Is it only when it actually engages kickdown?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. So if it's not on kickdown, then it's not producing that extra bit. I'm going to try and get it on kickdown now, so that at least it's. Just got to be careful when it kicks down. So try to kick down about now. There you go. So 4.1, 3.7, respectable numbers. What I'd expect from this car. Well, hopefully be able to make that a little bit quicker. Don't watch this U-turn. Delete this video right now.
What U-turn?
Are these the racing line paddles, or are these
They're the knockoff ones.
The knockoff ones.
Yeah. They're the AliExpress specials.
the Racing Express paddles.
That's right.
Car feels good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wheel alignment, but like springs don't feel too firm. The engine mounts and the dogbow mounts sharpen that front end of this right up, and it does feel nice on and off throttle. I think you'll find that you'll be able to modulate your throttle a lot better, especially exiting corners.
Yeah.
Even though you're going to have more power to worry about, should be a bit nicer to drive.
So that's comfort.
It doesn't matter for full throttle.
No, I just meant.
Oh yeah, for comfort levels. Yeah. It was probably matches the spring rate better in sport. But like it feels a bit jittery, but not more than I'd expect.
It always feels a bit jittery.
Still a comfortable car, hey?
Yeah.
Still a nice daily. It's one of the best compromised cars around. Like when you're talking about compromised cars, I mean like track cars can be pretty harsh on the street, and obviously street cars can be pretty average at the track. But this is going to be a really good compromise of both. Essentially, a Civic Type R with a DCT gearbox.
I hope so. Hopefully faster than a Civic Type R.
Well, it should be faster than a Civic Type R.
It should.
Because like a Civic Type R will run. Talking about Wakefield times, because it's a good benchmark track. It has a good amount of everything. You're talking like what 107.9, 108 flat for a Civic Type R with no mods. I think you were running high 8s.
8.6.
Yeah, with no mods.
Yeah.
I think you're pretty close to Civic Type R. Civic Type R's got another 30 kilowatts on this, so we're going to fix that. And along with all the other handling mods, I think you're going to have it in the bag.
Should be close. Yeah.
To be fair, the Civic Type R did it with stock tyres though.
Okay.
So I feel like one of these would probably go high 9 on stock
I think
tyres.
so. Yeah, I think so.
So 2 seconds. 2 seconds is easy. We can find 2 seconds.
It is a good benchmark track, actually, Wakefield.
Yeah.
Because it's not too short and it's not too long. It evens out the cars, I think.
That's right. I think it's going to go anywhere. I think you find that like places like Eastern Creek is so power hungry.
Yeah.
That the power cars can kind of make up for lack of braking or corner speed. Whereas at Wakefield you just can't do that.
Yeah.
Like power car won't make up for anything at Wakefield, and more importantly, like it's not like Marulan where it's all handling cars. It's a good place to compromise both. Get a good compromise on.
Yeah. So what's the time? 4.1?
Yeah, so it was the best will be, go have a look at the best here. So 80 to 120 was 3.6 was our best.
3.6.
And 50 to 100 was 4.1.
4.1.
Yeah. But that 50 to 100, I think you'll find now we're not going to kick down or like it'll improve immensely. I think it's going to be traction limited, to be perfectly honest.
So talk us through what's involved in an APR flash tune.
First things first, we check for fault codes. Got to make sure there's no fault codes as soon as to write to the ECU. If there is any fault codes, it can be an error. It's a pretty simple process. I think we're also going to check if there's a few fault codes from the headlight aligners as well.
Let's get the VCDS cable hooked up.
Yeah, it's just because they've been disconnected, but I'll double check that when it comes to it.
O2 sensor.
So I don't really want to, I need to fix this up. It's too rich, which is why, because it's got the spacer in it. No, not really. See if I can do a test pipes file, because that will just switch off the back of the O2 sensor. it's not going to give you the best result, but it may be just a fix for the short term. What's called the cheater cable, which is what you tune with for APR. Don't look at me.
No, I won't look at your password. Just tell the internet the APR password.
Doesn't really matter. I don't think it really matters, but still. I should have done this. Okay, so that's all plugged in. It takes a little longer than most of the other like flash at home kind of applications, mainly because it does quite a lot more data. There's a lot more data being transferred than just a simple switch of file.
So it's basically it's connecting to the APR servers, pulling down
Yeah,
the file.
it's pulling down the file. The file is it's quite seamless on here, but it's actually like
It's doing stuff in the background.
deleting code and then adding code and then deleting code and then adding code. So it's not just doing like a full wipe, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We also want to make sure we do a read, which we'll do that now, to make sure that it's got the factory stock file as well. So for whatever reason we want to put back to stock, we can.
Yeah.
It was about now that I started to get a little bit nervous. GTI had been plugged in to the APR mothership for quite some time. The sun was well and truly going down. Thoughts like, what if it bricks my ECU? were certainly going through my head. Did it normally take this long? The progress bar looks like it hasn't moved in a really long time. But then, all of a sudden, it did. And we were done. Time to get some more performance numbers.
Just VR, that sounds like spring knock. Did you hear it?
There was already a knock from on the brakes. That was
Oh, okay, yeah, from the rotors.
the rotors.
Yeah.
They knock,
Yeah.
especially when you first just drove off.
Yeah, no, that's probably what it was then. They'd probably be okay when they get hot, hey?
Yeah, that's right. When they get hot, they're fine.
I'm just going to pull over so we don't get caught in the traffic. Third gear, 30 k's now, get on the roll, full throttle. Need to find traction. I think we need more heat into the tires.
Yeah. Jesus, that was third gear, and they still lit up.
I don't think we got to 2.6, 80 to 120 still. So we were 3.6.
3.6. Yeah.
That is a full second quicker 80 to 120 with wheel spin.
With wheel spin.
And 3.4, so that's 4.1 to 3.4.
Yeah.
So I think these tyres need a bit of temp though.
Yeah.
So we might try and just go out with a quick drive. I'm actually got a dinner appointment at 7, so we'll go. Car feels fantastic, man. Like it just feels like it feels more like a city type car. I don't know. That's my benchmark. Have you driven one?
No, I haven't. I've sat in the passenger seat,
Yeah.
and just sitting in the passenger seat, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. And
This
it's-
car
it's
is like well
totally
sorted.
my benchmark of how good a car is grip wise.
Yep.
Get some of these front corners a little bit to try and get. Yeah, bit of traction issues.
Yep.
Normally this is what I do. So there's a kink in the road, and my dragging tells me it's exactly like half a degree down. Right? So you
right.
can see where it changes,
Yep.
and it gives me a full 8th mile before I have to brake. So
Ah,
I can do an
right.
8th mile runs here, which is kind of
Nice.
Let's go. See how we go. I don't want to do it on the down.
Yeah.
Alright, ready? Go full
Do it.
throttle. So and 2.9 50 to 100. Holy crap. That's literally 1.2 seconds quicker. 50 to
Yeah,
100.
that's ridiculous.
That is like 25% faster. And you know, like you know how easy it is.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
How does that benchmark against other cars?
Okay, so that's actually like I actually find that 40th anniversaries are slightly quicker than IS38 Golf GTIs.
Oh, really?
Right? I think it's because this has got the Golf R motor, which is a slightly lower compression.
Yeah.
I think you can just run a little bit extra boost without having like cylinder pressure issues. Anyway, more importantly, 2.5 puts it against tuned RS3s.
No. What?
98 tuned
A 98
RS3s
tuned RS3.
run about 2.4. A pre-facelift stage 2 plus only gets 2.5.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that is just an awesome amount of mumbo.
I'll wait till I cut it.
Wait till you get some power out of it. I think you're going to have to be mindful that you're going to have fresh tyres, or like at least warm tyres whenever you take it to the track, and you will find that now, like, you can feel the difference in grip from that drive. And we didn't really swerve or do a big brake stop or anything like that. But I think you're just going to have to be a bit more careful on the throttle.
Yeah.
When it,
Don't go nuts when you get in the car.
I think the thing is, you'll find that you're going to be slower from like apex to exit, right, than you were before, because you're going to be mindful of trying to get traction. But then from like exit marker to the end of the straight, you're going to be much faster.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting now. Probably have to modify like braking points and.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to pull them way back.
Yeah.
I mean, my fastest lap in the Golf R, I outbraked myself into turn 10 by a good car width. And it was my fastest ever lap.
Shit.
Just because I did not, like, I was doing 175 or 178 or something on the back straight. Yeah.
Wow.
And I just couldn't. I was like, holy crap! Like, what do I do here? You have to learn to brake again, basically. Just really sneak in there so they don't.
I can't believe how tight the car feels just moving
It
about.
feels great, man. Like, we've done a good job together, figuring out exactly what it needs, figuring out all the, like, I think you haven't over modified the car. Like, there's nothing in this car that I wouldn't do in my own car, except for the
downpipe.
And you can tell that's why you know, like, that initial coming on to boost is exactly why I
doesn't have the torque.
You've got too much torque.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying before. We might have a fiddle with the low and high torque tunes. I'll come up to a track day with you, and
we can play with them.
We can even put on 3 different tunes and
nice.
Like do a stock file, do like a low torque file, just to see how the low torque and the high torque work at the track. Because I think you'll find that yes, it'll make it easier to get out of corners, but then you'll lose a little bit, like 3rd gear, 4th gear down the straight with the low torque file. But power should be the same. That's awesome.
Nice.